What is going on, everybody? Your McLaren Speed Shop World Champion coming at you, and we're going to discuss my law build and my playstyle. I'm going to try to give you a good breakdown of my current build and like my thought through my progressions and like how I play. So I'll start this with 2 pro tips. The first one, the most important one, if you are wanting to play red and purple law, this is like the best part of and why it's so good. So when you minus the 3 Don, it can be 3 Don from anywhere on the field, like anywhere on your board. It does not have to be in your cost area. So like you can put the 3 Don on law. So let's just go a hypothetical here. If your opponent has a character out, you can put your 3 Don on law, attack them for 8,000, and then still use law's ability, and then you take the 3 Don from law and send those back to your Don deck. You do not have to use the Don that is in the cost area. You can use the Don from anywhere on the board. It can be any character. Like you get out Zoro, you put 2 Don on him, and then you can attack 7,000 with Zoro, use law's ability, take the 2 off Zoro, 1 from a different character or from your cost area, like that. So that's what you can do, and that is my biggest tip. Like if you're playing this card and not doing that, like if you're only doing like the cost area ones, which I'm pretty sure I only did the first video I made, I only did that, like off in the event cards and stuff. So not my fault for not explaining that and doing that to show you guys, so sorry. But yeah, if you are new to playing law or you're interested in playing law, that is like the biggest tip of like advice I've got. And that if you haven't been playing law like that, this is about to open up a whole nother direction of things you can do. And it is why I play so aggro and so aggressive with this build, is because depending on what you're doing, and I'll try to explain this like hands-on in like some matches here after I go over everything. But yeah, again, the 3 Don that you return, the -3, anywhere on your field. It can be in the cost area, it can be active rested in your cost area, or it can be attached to the characters, because again, the card doesn't give you any specifics of like what it has to be. So it just says Don -3. Those are just 3 Don anywhere on the field you send back. And yeah, biggest advice, biggest tip I've got for you if you're playing red purple law, like any kind of variation build, like whatever build you're doing, that's the biggest one, because that allows you to do like so much extra stuff, and also allows you to make up for your power disadvantage, because most of your cards and everything to get out are going to be right around like 4,000 or 5,000 power. So that is how you're able to still put out your Don to give like your characters and stuff a little boost. But then you can still use law's ability every turn if you want to, depending on the build that you do for law. And it does not matter where your Don are on the field. You just have to return 3 Don to the deck, then you can still blast the character. And then, so yeah. Second bit of advice, second tip, my build. My build is all out offense. That's it. I wouldn't, depending on your playstyle, if you are super aggressive, like this first build I'm doing, if you're super aggressive and like to play fast, which I do, then this is a build for you. Like it's super fun. It's not the best overall, because I lack weaknesses to certain decks, like NL. I can't beat like NL. Like my weakness with this deck is I'm all out trying to overwhelm them, blast them every turn. But if they're able to stall us out past like probably like turn normally like 6, 7, like past like way past that, I'm in trouble. Because to use like this stuff, we gotta is our Don management and kind of like the characters. So cards in our hand normally gets pretty low late. Like if the game gets extended like late game, then we're in trouble. But if we're able to wrap things up, or at least have like our foots down and our setup established by like 5, 6, then it doesn't really matter. Like if we have a bunch of characters out, we got a full board of characters, and we're good. But it's just like if you don't, the fact that NL can just extend for so long is my big issue, and I definitely cannot beat NL with this build like consistently. Everyone else though, Purple Luffy, absolutely smoke. Like Purple Luffy has like no shot against us unless they just get the God Hand. Sakazuki, pretty evenly matched. It is normally back and forth. Versing Sakazuki with this build is so much fun. Like I enjoy it. Like win or lose. Normally win or lose, we're both down to like our final like life card, like 1 or like both at 0, and it's literally just like heart of the cards, who's got what. And it's so satisfying to win against Sakazuki, and then even when we lose, it's still like an amazing battle, and I just have a lot of fun. But yeah, that's the breakdown and my tips for that. So now let me get into the cards I've got currently. So it's pretty different than the other setup. So I'll give you my kind of like breakdown of my play style before we get into it, and like what I look for. And opening turn, you want this. You want your search card. Like if you go first or second, doesn't matter. Try to get this in your hand because it helps. So first turn, like your first draw, if you don't have this, and then if you don't have the other one I recommend, like if you don't have a Zoro, Shachi, and Penguin, or Beepo, mulligan, or this. So if you don't have like one of these 4, at least one, and then depending on the other cards in your hand is a judgment call. But if you definitely don't have any of those, definitely mulligan to try to get one. So turn 1, try to use the search, pull out again. It works for any Straw Hat, Kid, or Heart Pirates, which is all of our main characters. Zoro is pretty good just because of Rush. Beepo is the other one that I love using because Beepo is on play and when attacking to boost up your Don. Because again, we're going to be draining Don with this build. Like we're high octane, just all out. So Beepo is crucial. That's why I like opening hand. The other crucial one is these guys right here. And then if in case like you're hurting, you have Gene Bart. But those are the cards I look for in my opening hand to try to like set up stuff. Because basically turn 2 comes around, and then this is where I just crank it up. Well, depending on who we're playing. Again, it depends your leader. But if you're playing any of the other top leaders and stuff, like the other top like meta guys, for me, if I'm going all out offense, which is this, say second turn rolls around, if we go first, that kind of changes things. If we go first, we'll only have 3 Don on our second turn. So the only card you can kind of play is Zoro or Wire. So if you have that, I'd say that. Go for those 2. And then if you don't, just stack the 3 Don on Law and just smack them in the mouth. Because then they have to at least lose a life or like burn something. If they're more than likely they're going to lose a life because people don't like to burn their hands like early game. Because 8,000 is a lot. However, the cool thing about Law, like this build of Law, is this build that I've got is like the counter, sort of the counter strat. So if you're going second, that completely kind of changes your turn 2. So if you're going second and their first turn or second turn, they play out like a search character or like a low cost character. And then for you, on your second turn, if you have these guys, Shachi and Penguin, Zoro, Beepo, like any of those 3 characters, like Zoro's a little risky, but I'm fine with it on second turn because you all have 4 Don, so you still have 1 left over. But if they got someone low under 3,000, this is how you go all out offense: is you put 3 Don immediately on Law, you blast them for 8,000 on your second turn. They take the hit more than likely, and then activate Law's ability, drop the 3 Don off in Law, scoop up their search guy or like whatever card they put out that's probably under 3,000, and then ideally the main one, if you have these guys, throw this down because then you get 2. So if you have less than 3 Don, then you get 2 back, which is nice. If not, I look for like Beepo. Beepo gives you at least 1. So both of these are pretty good. Because again, you don't want to go where you're burnt out. Like I wouldn't recommend, if you go first and like that's the setup, I wouldn't recommend doing that unless, like I would not recommend doing the all out like 8,000 and then getting rid of their guy because you only get 2 Don per turn. So if you don't have a way to replenish at least one of those Don after you burn the 3, do not do that. Because you'll then like literally waste your next turn because you won't be able to do anything because the majority of our guys are 4. and not 3. And because then if your next turn, if you only have 2 Dawn, that just completely, you can't do anything with anybody. So do not recommend doing that if you're going to do our offensive grind here. But yeah, that's kind of the opening second turn. If things work out, also too, it just depends who you're playing. So you got to kind of adjust a little bit. So your second turn, you blast them for 8,000. You drop the 3. Then you can put out Zoro if you're feeling super aggressive. You put out Zoro, attacking them again for 5,000. And then that kind of puts them in panic mode. Because then you don't want to lose 2 life on like turn 2. Like the fact that you can put the pressure on them that much to lose like 2 life. And depending on who they're using, that's like half their life turn 2. And then you can set them up for mid-late game stuff like already. Or they're going to counter out it with their cards, which is normally what people do when I do have Zoro. I feel like they do that. But either way, it's good because sort of situational. Like if you're playing a remove deck, if you're playing another one of these guys, or you're playing Sakazuki or cost remover like that, for me, I always expect to lose Zoro regardless. So playing him like that wouldn't matter. The only option that I wouldn't do that again to boost our Dawn. Or I guess if you have this law, like if you have blocker law, I think it's like okay. If you want to set up a little bit defense, you can play him like after attacking 8,000, block out. Because again, my biggest weakness, if you want to use this build, I'm not running any counters except this one. Except your pocket beam, because this is restricted, so you only got 1. And just because for me is using all these other cards, like this is this. Oh, I scroll down so you guys can see. Gamma knife down here. So that's all these are minus power, so I can put all these cards work. Like again, 10,000. This is just a cheap like early turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, sort of like wipe their field kind of thing. Minus 4,000, and then this is just thrown in there just for fun, just because if they put out this deck, I've kind of put together to go up against Sakazuki mainly, because I think it's fun to go up against like what is perceived as like the top deck and see what you can do. But yeah, this is in there just for the pocket thing, so you can blast their Rablucci or Kuzan right away. But yeah, that is what I look for and what I try to do with this deck. And then it's pretty much, if you're like, the other problem with this though, if you commit to it and you commit to what I just said, like going all out, is you don't want to get caught. Because if you get caught and like overextend or like burn out, you're going to be like low on cards in your hand, and that can put you in some tight spots. So it's definitely, I don't know, once you commit to like that, you kind of got to keep going with it, because you don't want to let off the gas and let them get set up, because this is like a burnout thing. We're going like gear 5. We're going gear 5 Luffy just from the beginning, and you don't want to burn out. And we're going to eventually burn out. And if you get caught and you burn out and don't have in your hand the stuff to hold on, then you're going to be like Luffy, where he's like all shriveled up and he can't do anything for a period of time. That's what this build is kind of like. Like you're just going to overheat. You're going for it. You have a certain amount of time to put them in the trap and then to finish them off. If you can't do that, then you'll find yourself in a tough spot with this one. But it is super fun. Again, I like playing super aggressive and just coming out, popping them just right away, disrupting like whatever their strategy is, and making them have to think and kind of like play our game a little bit. But yeah, that's the sort of early breakdown. I'll just scan through the other cards for everybody. Otama. We're up to 4 Otama and stuff now, because I like Otama for both. Because you can use Otama for 1 Dawn to minus the 2,000 to potentially put people in range. Again, it depends what they have. If they have 5,000 guy Otama, you could do that. Or you can keep Otama. Because again, we have no defense. No counter cards. We're going to be playing with all of our Dawn burnt basically every turn. So, like Otama for the plus 2,000. Zoro, because Zoro's just like great. Has the rush ability. Allows you to pop someone with 8,000 with law, and then you can put Zoro out, pop him with 5, or vice versa. You get Zoro out, and if he survives the turn, next turn you can put the 3 on Zoro if you want, pop him, then take the 3 off Zoro with law's ability. Gordo, just a good card. I only have 2. I decided to buff up Otama only because of the counter thing. and because Gordo doesn't have anything, but it's still super strong. Again, Gordo works the same way. If you want to attack with Law first, like if you have more than 3 Don, like say you have 4 or 5, you can put like however much, just make sure you have 1 left over, stack them on Law, attack them for 8, 9,000, like whatever it is, and then use your 1 other Don, drop Gordo down, then use his ability immediately, give someone minus 3,000, set him to the bottom of your deck, and then you can then scoop up, click off the 3 of the Don on Law, scoop up whoever, put out whoever. This Law, like him, on playability is good, minus 2,000. It's just like it's Otama, but one that can actually like attack if you get him out. These guys, again, beginning of the video, early game, huge staple. And also too, if you get them set up early, again, 5,000. And then the other ones, if you're able to keep them out, the other ones are also plus 2,000. So a little bit extra defense. And then, yeah, kind of decreased Gene Bart a bit in here. So just because you have to rest it on, and I can't just overheat as much if I need, like if I'm in a bind and need the Don, then it's fine for like the next turn, but I don't want to use him too much. It's just if you get yourself in a bind and like if you overheat, overextend, and get caught, you'll probably have to use like Gene Bart to kind of like get yourself back. Blocker Law, he's a blocker. That's pretty much why he's in here, to block, and he's got 5,000. Also, too, pro tip, if you're running like a lot of block, don't be afraid to like not attack with your blocker, because again, depending on what blocker you got, like this one has 5,000, he can check, like you can use him if you want to set up. I wouldn't say like go for an early game, because like you just want to have like that fear of a blocker out, but kind of late game, if you need to go for it, like don't be afraid to just attack with your blockers, because they can still attack. And how I look at it is, again, like even if they're rested on my turn, if the opponent takes like uses their resources, like whether it's an attack or whether it's to remove their cost, like on him while he's rested, he still does his job, is like blocking, at least to me, is how I look at it. So you still, to me, get the utility out of him, but you also get an attack, which could help you out in the game. But you just got to be wary with like attacking with your blocker though too, just because, like, again, this theme with everything, you don't want to overextend with this deck and just burn yourself out to where you, like, if they're not finished off, you don't want them to be able to come back, kind of thing. Beepo, same, talked about it earlier. Beepo's great because Beepo's got 5,000. You get Beepo out with the ability, and just being able to keep Beepo on the field and attack with them, like that's the other one. If you get Beepo out, I recommend like yeah, attack with Beepo first, just because you get a rested Don, like you get an extra rested Don that you can just use. That lowers like the cost here for your -3. Wire, I just have him in for another nice little blocker and the plus 1,000. Don't use him as much, but he's also like okay if you get him out, because when you return the Don to the Don deck, you get to draw, discard a card. Then into like our main power movers, this one is in here, so like no one's safe. Like no one is safe if you're playing against Purple Luffy, who able to put in the blender with these cards. Like if you have one of these, Purple Luffy is done. Like it doesn't matter. There's no card in the game that is safe. Like if you, it doesn't matter. They put out a 10 Don guy, they're gonna be like 12,000. I think maybe 13,000 is some. I might be wrong, but I know most are like 12,000, which this puts them in range of our ability, so you can literally bottom deck 10 Don like people. Pocket Beam, just because, like why not? Like in case you're in a, again, in case you overheat, I got this in here just in case. And it's also just good because it's like insane. You can get 4,000. Fire Fist, this lets you KO 2 people, so you can chain it, combo. Like if they got a 6,000 guy out, you can combo with an Otama if you want, or with Law, put them out, drop them down into range, and then you can do a different 5,000 and a 4,000. So if you're able to lower like someone into range, if they have 2 5,000s, you can lower one of them, get both of them with this. I like this as just a little added insurance. Again, being super aggressive, and this card, if you have it early game, you can play it like, I don't know, turn 3 maybe, depending on what they have out. They have multiple guys out. You play this, bang. They put out 2 guys, their turn 3. Play this out, pop them, they're gone. Something like that. Fire Fist, this card I think is just super good for in general, just for this, depending on the build you use for Law. Like, I think this is just a good card. This is kind of like sort of universal a bit, because it's minus 4,000, so that puts literally any character on your opponent's side of the board 7,000, like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. I mean, immediately puts them in your range. And then even too, like if they put a blocker out, depending on the blocker, you can do the double effect. So if their blocker's like low and you need to get rid of their blocker to attack them directly, like dropping a 0 KO them with this, or you can also use this, drop someone 4,000, and if they have someone else at 0, like if you're playing Sakazuki and they got like Rebecca or something out, you can then double effect and get 2 people. Because then you can drop the 4,000, use Law's ability, get somebody, and then get rid of their Rebecca or any deck you're facing if they have like a 0 setup card. This one, we just have one in here again. It's just kind of like a pocket blast. Probably don't super need this in here, but I just like it as, again, just insurance in case, again, you overheat, you overextend your stuff here. And I have this in here just in case. And then obviously searchers, I think are just super valuable because most of our deck, like again, you can't draw this with it, but you can get Radical Beam, and then we can get Gum Gum Pistol, and we can get all of our Gamma Knives with this. But then we can get almost all of our characters like Wire, Beepo, Zoro, Law, Penguin, Bart, Law again. Like everybody else works with this. And then yeah, last Gamma Knife, pretty straightforward, simple. You lose a Don, so if you I don't recommend super using this card, especially early, unless you have the setup to get your Don back. But middle game, late game, this is great because you sack a Don, like you're gonna spend the 2, you sack 1, and then you drop someone by 5,000, and that'll put pretty much most of the people, unless they have, again, someone like super strong, like 9-10 Don card out, everyone else, it puts them in range for you to bottom deck. So that's the breakdown of this. Pretty long breakdown, so sorry. But I just wanted to be like thorough, especially anyone new that's like interested in Law. But yeah, that's my build for Law. Just again, it's super aggro. It requires some practice to learn, because again, to do this, you gotta be constantly calculating your Don and attack power and stuff like that, like on the fly, because depending on who you're playing, it also changes up the calculations. It's nonstop. So that is the tough thing with this build, is you gotta do a lot of math, which is if that's not your thing, then do not do this build like at all. It's like tough because I've definitely lost a couple of games just from miscalculating of things that I could have done, and then I messed something up and misplayed. So yeah, if this build, you got to be on it. You got to be in like flow state of like everything's just clicking and you're just going like that. If you don't like doing like math and stuff like that, don't do this build. Do definitely one of the more balanced builds that are like definitely more available. And also too, I'd probably recommend in general do a little bit more one of the balanced ones, just because it gives you more just like coverage against everybody. Because again, I know my weaknesses with this is NL straight up, and then anybody else that kind of any rush deck. So like a Zoro is pretty tough, but it just kind of depends how things play. But those are the weaknesses with this. But I love it. I have a lot of fun. Again, I love playing Sakazuki with this deck. It's just super back and forth, and yeah, we'll break that down. That's all that for that. And now I'm going to try to get in some hopefully good games here so I can show you like hands-on what I do and at least my thought process. Because again, if you're like new, if you maybe can at least go off in mind of like what I do and then make it your own thing. Which again, also too, let me know. Like, feel free, comment other cards you're running. If you're doing this, like what your build is, I love checking out stuff like that. And yeah, also too, definitely expect different versions of this build. I'm just doing mine first off, just because I got a comment, and that's good enough for me. And yeah, So this is my build. I'll definitely put together the other builds too. So try to find a balance. So that way you'll have different options to kind of look for your play style. But if you like being super aggressive, flat out, just non-stop attacking, then this is the build that I use. So yeah, hop into the games and give you hands-on. Alright, here we go. Going up against Sakazuki. Jumping out right for the beginning to kind of break things down. This is okay. So we'll give this a try. We'll just give this a try. Draw our Don. We don't get our search, which is kind of the problem here. But going up against Sakazuki, the deck that pretty sure with Sakazuki you want to go second because your search card is like 2 Don. So to get one, like to get your search card out the first turn, you're gonna want to go like second. So they trash Toshigi. Oh, they didn't get their search. Okay. Draw our Don. We have 3. We got a character. We got this. I'm just gonna launch an attack on him, I guess. We'll just go 8 because you didn't play that. So either way, we'll attack 8. Attack him 8 on 5. Try to get a hit here. We do. All right, we'll take that, and then we'll end our turn. So we don't have Zoro to play, but then we have these guys. Now he's got his search, so I guess he must have got it from there, or like he just drew. Oh yeah, I guess he just drew it. Use the ability. So he's gonna attack us for 1, but our next turn. So we put 2 on, so 7 on 5, and yeah, we'll let that hit as well. All right, we get a blocker, which is nice. But we also got Beepo. We'll probably go into Beepo here just because we get the extra added Don. So we can get our guy and stuff back. And then we have our 2 Fire Fists to drop him by 4. Draw our Don. Okay, we got Shotzi and Penguin. That's way better. Way more useful. If only... I mean, I could put 5. I could put 5 on and hit him. And then... use our ability, scoop this dude, get out Penguin. I think that's our play, but I don't want him to just like. We'll do a little bluff again. So, yeah. So break everything down and show you. You can use Don cards from anywhere on the field. It's the biggest move here. So 8 on 5 takes another hit. All right, we're all right with that. So then you go 1, 2, 3, off in that, you get rid of them, throw out Penguin, you get 2 back, and then you end your turn. So that's like the ideal combo, like early turn. If you want to use Law's ability, and he plays out like a searcher or someone low, you can just scoop him to the bottom of the deck, and then plop on down a card out. So now we got to get him. So now we're going to just be kind of trading back and forth, though, is the problem. Like, he's going to need to cost remove and get rid of these guys, like this turn, or else we have two attacks on him. So that kind of thing. And then for us, we'll probably try to do a little setup, depending on what he plays. Like, if I can play a guy, scoop a guy, and get another guy out, that'd be nice. But we'll see what he does. So, yeah, he plays this, drop us down to 2, and then he's got to attack. So it depends what he attacks with, is kind of the other problem, the important thing. Because we have Otama. Alright, then you use, what, you just bottom deck us with that? Okay. It's 2 or less. So you attack us with 9,000. Alright, well, no blocker. And not willing to cost that much, so, alright. So is he not playing anybody? Okay. So we're just doing like a back and forth type thing. So we have 2 Otamas. If we're going to get into that play style, we got plenty of people to like crank out sort of thing. We're in like a standoff. Like if he puts someone out, I can bottom deck them and get multiple people out. If I only put out 1, then he can like cost remove us. So basically, we're just going to do the same thing. We'll do 9. Actually, well, no, let's just do 10. We'll leave 1. one up, try to do a little hiding action here. So we'll do that. 10 on 5. Either takes another hit or starts burning through stuff. And we're just going to let it linger and see what happens. Let's just see how this goes. And so we need, for us to use our ability, we need him to put somebody out. And for him to use his power cost, he needs us to put someone out. So if we're trading blows, it just goes to who can stop someone's attack. So he's got Kuzan, which is fine, because now we can get Kuzan out, and Rebecca. So there we go. Basically, we're going to play this, and we're going to get both of them next turn, which is fine by me. And he's got Tashigi coming out. So he's attacking us with 5, no blocker. This is where we will use somebody here. Should we use this guy, or should we use... yeah, we'll do that. Resolve the attack there. Draw our card, and now we can use our ability and kind of get into some things. So we're going to, first of all, Fire Fist. Again, Fire Fist, you give someone -4, and then if your life has 2 or less, which ours does, get a KO if someone with 0 power. Which luckily, their blocker has 0 power. So we'll do this, this, and that, which is very nice. Very nice indeed for us. And then not only that, we have enough to play another character. So we'll do our own, we'll probably do our own blocker. So we'll deploy our own blocker here. How many cards has he got? 10? You know what? Why not? We'll get rid of 2 of his cards. Just be a little silly. A little silly with that. And then we'll go there and there onto, well, no, we'll use Law's ability. 1, 2, 3. Bottom deck Kuzan. And now we'll get Beepo. Actually, oh no, we need 3 or less. We have 4. So yeah, let's get Beepo out. The 1-2 on Law. Let's attack him. 7 on 5. Try to get him to waste some more stuff here. Alright, 2 more cards. That's okay. Because now we can get... If we have a blocker out that he's going to have to get rid of. He's got a cost remove. We have Beepo, who's nice because he's just at base 5. Like, both of these are at base 5, which is cool. And then we have us as well. And then we got this, which is big, and we got this, which is big. So with this Fire Fist, we can play this next turn and just KO Tashigi just off the field. But we got to do... Alright, rest, give up to one of your opponents -2. Okay. So they got to play... Okay, he's going into Rob. Alright. Which is fine. Okay. And then let's see, what else has he got? He's going to attack us. Okay, he's got Sabo. Alright, never mind. Sabo's a problem. Sabo's an annoying problem. We gotta get rid of Sabo. And then, can we attack him twice next turn? We'll see. We'll see what we can do. We're gonna go for the game next turn, I think. So we'll get that. Okay. Draw a card. Draw our Don. So we're playing with 7 Don here. I gotta get rid of Sabo. So we can do 2, or we can do these 2. No, I need these 2 for the counters, just in case. Like, just in case we need to survive another turn. So I do Fire Fist on Sabo, which is 2. And then we can use... Actually, let's see if we get Zoro really quick. Dang it, we didn't get Zoro. We get this, which we don't super need. I just need someone for some counter action for one more turn. So we'll do that. We'll Fire Fist Sabo. Then we can scoop him and get out our blocker, I guess. So, yeah, let's do that. 2. Fire Fist on Sabo. Cancel that. And then use Don -3. 1, 2, 3. Gotta make sure you do that. Make sure you click on him. And then, if you want to get out, probably a blocker just to be safe. And then, what do we want to do here? Because then that means he's got to go for us next turn, so he can attack with 1, 2, 3 people. He'll get rid of this power cost, and he can attack us with 3. So it depends on what his Don situation is, because we have all this to block with. So we're just gonna have to play that out with that, and yeah, let's go for it. But if he blocks this, then it's GG. Then he's got us for sure. We have to get rid of this life this turn. Okay, so now we gotta see what we can do. He's definitely getting rid of this, so he's gonna attack us 3 times. It just depends on how he puts it together. Is gonna be the situation here, and so we'll see what he does. All right, Mancherry. Oh, he's gonna get a blocker. If he gets Sabo back, then it's definitely GG. Well, I mean, we can get rid of it, but he definitely has enough cards now to block, I think. But it literally just depends. If he places his Don right when he attacks us, he definitely wins. Because we have 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 8,000. So it just depends on that. And also if he gets like a blocker and stuff out. Dang it, he got a blocker out. Luckily we don't have to use anything to cost remove this though. So if we draw Zoro next turn, or Zoro's in our life right here, we've got a chance. But if we don't, then we don't have a chance. So it's all down to what kind of happens here. So why didn't he do that? So I'll just block with that. Yeah, let's block straight up with that. 7 on 5. So we're going for game next turn no matter what, right? Okay. Alrighty. And we got Zoro. Oh man, this is going to be close. This is going to be super, super, super close. Because he can only block us with Rebecca, so we have to use this to get out Zoro. And then, how do I want to do it? If he has 2,000s, it literally just depends what he's got in his hand. Oh man, this is right down to the wire. What a good game. I love this. So we should probably, let's do Zoro. Play Zoro. Deploy Zoro. Use our Don ability. 1, 2, 3. Bottom deck that. And then we'll bring in I don't really want to bring in anybody. But we'll just bring in Law, I guess. Drop down him. I don't know. So let's do... Alright, we gotta do 1 and then 2 is the best bet. Because I need him to... We just gotta hit him once. So we'll attack him twice. So we'll throw 1 in here. Attack here. What does he got? It's all down if he's got the counter characters to counter out of this. Okay, so then we gotta do this. 7 on 5. Let's go! What an amazing game that was. Oh my god. That's one of my favorite games I've ever done. That was sick. Wow. Like, I wish you didn't disconnect. That would have been like GG's. That's an all-time just back and forth, just slam fest. Just punching each other in the mouth kind of thing. Oh, that was sick. We got Heart of the Cards, though. Perfect with Zoro. the Yugi Moto luck on our side. Wow. That was it. That's how you also, again, pilot law. I will recommend, though, if you're going up against Sakazuki, well, it depends what law build. If you're using my law build, then against Sakazuki, you want to go second. Just because my law build against another character that's like a removal character is built on counter. Like, I don't have any counter cards, but my ability itself is the counter. So if you reach a stalemate like we did for like a little bit, and then you just, again, if the advantage you have against that strategy that they don't have is your ability works on cards. It doesn't matter where the cards are, so we can always put potentially 3 on law and then whack someone. Or, like, again, you can put the 3 Don anywhere on your field and then use law's ability because they're out on the field. Like, they don't have to be in your cost area. Only in the cost area if you're using, like, an event first. Then you can scoop those ones up because they're rested and you can't use them. But you can get the double utility value, like, out of putting 3 on law, especially early game. Like, everything obviously depends on your hand and what you have, so definitely try to play. Like, if you have the cards to kind of set up mid to late game, don't do what I just like am doing, because you don't want to burn through your Don early. But if you don't have stuff like that and you have like the lower stuff, you can throw 3 Don right on law, smack them for 8,000 early, and then if they have like their low search character or whatever, you just then use law's ability down the 3, like bang bang bang, and scoop up whoever, get your guy out, and then depending on who they are. For me, how I look at it, like whether I'm going to do that or not, is if I have Zoro or if I have these guys or Beepo. Like, those are my 3. Like, if I'm going to be super aggressive against Sakazuki, like, those are the 3 cards that I would want at least one of the 3. Because on your turn, like, unless you go second, if you go second, it's not a big of a deal. But if you're going first, then you're only going to have, on your second turn, you only have the 3. And since you only get 2 Don per turn, and you don't want to be, like, putting yourself in a negative situation where then you have to forfeit the turn after because you're only going to get 2 Don. But if you're always able to at least have 3, you can at least manage something. But, man, that was sick. Sorry if the clapping stuff was too loud and blew out the ears, but yeah, this is how our current law build, how you kind of pilot it around and everything. And yeah, it's pretty fun. Again, it's not like a cakewalk against Sakazuki though. Like, Sakazuki is like being built and set up as the top deck for the 5th set for a reason. Like, this Sakazuki is a really, really good deck, and overall I do think it's better than ours, just because overall Sakazuki matches up, I think, the best against every other deck they're going to face. While ours, we have, like, at least for my setup currently, we have big weaknesses. Like, I may be able to beat Sakazuki with this deck, but I can't beat NL, like, at all. Like, every once in a while I can, but I need, like, the perfect setup. I need, like, multiple Zoros to set up a kill shot. Unless the other law builds are more successful, more balanced out to all around. So, again, I'm just showing you guys off in my current build, and I like this one just because I like to be like super aggressive, and I think it's just fun to just come out the gates and be able to just, like, whatever their immediate plan is in their hand, like after their first turn, they got the cards in the hand, they're trying to set something up, they put their search down, and then me being able to just immediately, like, pop them for 8,000 to make them have to choose between early game, like the second turn, they've got 8,000 attack coming at them. They've either got to choose to lose a life, like, on the second turn, or already sacrifice, like, resource cards in their hand. And I know they're not going to have, like, the good, like, anything good, because if they, again, their turn 2, if they're going first, they're only going to have 1 Don, which is nothing that they can use. So that is, like, added knowledge for you going into, like, the setup of what you can do. Is depending on that, if they play their search character for 2 on their second turn, if they went first, that is, they'll only have 1. If they are going second, which with Sakazuki, if they get to choose first or second, they're always going to go second, just because their search and stuff is 2. I don't think they have anybody that they can really play, unless they did, like, something like Mancherry, which I feel like is not, like, a early thing you want to do, because people can just get rid of this card. This is a card you want to make sure you get like Rob Lucci back. But I'm curious because it says 3d5 black character from your trash to your hand. So I guess he didn't really have much to choose from, which worked out for us. A lot like the other backup that's tough too against Sakazuki. Luckily he didn't get out Sabo. Like Sabo is the other kind of staple. If they are able to get Rob Lucci set up and stuff, they'll put out Sabo so they can try to stall, and then you have to choose of what to do. But luckily with Sabo's ability and everything, you don't have to worry about that at all, because Sabo's ability only protects them from KO effects, and if you're using Law, we bottom deck, so any card that says like can't be KO'd and affected by KO effects, don't worry about it, because you can just bottom deck everything. There's not a single card in this game that protects you from getting bottom decked. So if you're ever playing the game or just with whoever and they play and say they got abilities, they put counters out on the card saying whatever, you don't have to worry about it because there's no way to stop getting bottom decked. But yeah, this is kind of what you expect against Sakazuki. They didn't have a stage. I don't know. I wonder if they have one. Like, I feel like with Sakazuki, you should put the stage in there because that gives you a free -2 cost like every turn. Like if you get the stage out, like I'll probably put together a Sakazuki deck at some point, and I'll definitely want the stage, because you get stage, like even if you go first, you get the stage out for like 1, right? Then literally your next turn, that's a free -2. Like when attacking, give a component character -1, and your stage, you rest it, you give them -1. That's a free -2 on a character, which I think is pretty big, because that already puts like, that would put instantly, you just had to do 1, that puts Zoro in range of Rob Lucci. That puts 2, if you have 2, you can put any 4, and you put any 5 cost characters like right on the edge, and then you can just play like someone like this, Mina or whatever. So yeah, when I put together Sakazuki stuff, look forward towards me trying to build it around the stage, because I think that's the other thing I've experimented. I feel like stage cards are pretty important too, or like pretty strong, because there's no way to get rid of them. There's like one card in the game. There's like one black counter card, like the CP9 one, I think, that can KO a stage. But besides that, there's no way to get rid of a stage, and some of the stages are pretty good. Like if you're running like a red Luffy deck, that Straw Hat one is good because you get to every turn give someone an extra +1000. So if you got like red deck, like if you're doing like Zoro, or you're using any of the Straw Hat characters, that's pretty good. And I think Marineford's pretty good because again, it's a free -1. Like every turn, it's a free -1 cost. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll put together on Sakazuki. But yeah, I just want to put this together though as just a little how-to video of how to use your Don like with Law, because you can use the Don anywhere on the board. But yeah, we'll try to hop into some other games and stuff here too, just to operate and let you know, show you how it works and all that kind of stuff. Alright, here we go. We're going up against Sakazuki. Recommend. We're going to try our strat of going second here. Terrible hand. A little bit better hand. So here we go. Dang, he gets his Marineford down right away. Wow. Wowie wow. Alright. Draw our Don. If we had a search card, this would be perfect, but we don't. So they'll just end our turn for us. And let's see what he's got cooking. He's going to have 3, so we'll see what they put down. We'll see what we can do here. Try to work around that. Alright, they're just going all out, so that means they don't have anything. So 8 on 5. So we're just going to take that. We got another Beepo, which is fine. And, well, at least how this works for us, we know they don't have any counters. So I'll probably just do 1 on us, get us to 6,000. And, yeah, let's just do that. Let's do 6 on 5. Either trade our life back, which we did, so we're back on that, or they were going to burn something there. And now is where we'll apply a bit of pressure. We'll throw Zoro down as a distraction and attack him again, 5,000. So now I'm assuming he's going to block with something here. It'd be crazy if he takes another hit. Okay, so we got him to get rid of that, which is alright. So now he's going to cost remove Zoro, like 100p. There's like no reason for him not to. But we'll just see what he plays down. And then we'll try to do what we can. So he's attacking us. No block. We'll use Beepo. So he can't hit us. And now he's got Zeph. Interesting. I have not seen someone use Zeph in here. Okay. That's a interesting little build there. Alright, so what you can do now that we're cooking. So we got our you're gonna lose 3 Don, right? So you put your 3 Don right on Law, just off the rip. When we're going to just blast him straight up with 8 on 5. So he just burns 2 of his cards, which is pretty good. So we still have our 3. We have Gordo here. We're going to drop this guy down to that. So we'll deploy our Gordo, use his ability, do that. Then we go to use our ability. And now Law's ability, this is anyone playing that's new. Law's ability works for any Don on the field. So you just go 1, 2, 3. He's gone, out of here. And since we have 3 or less Don on the field, we play our Shotzi and Penguin. We're up to 5. And then you have 2. Like if you had a counter or something, you'd have 2 extra to kind of go off in. But that will end our turn. Like right there. Bang, bang. So yeah, biggest thing if you're using Law and his ability, it just says Don -3. So it can be from anywhere on your board. Like it does not have to be the ones in the character area. Like you can get crazy, you can mix and match, do whatever you want, kind of thing. So he trashed Rob Lucci, so he's gonna try to set up, I assume, to get Rob from the trash. So we'll see like kind of what he does, what he kind of plays into here. But he's attacking us straight. I'll probably, what should we do? Because we don't need Beepo. I don't want him to hit. So we'll do that again. We'll block again. Just because next turn we got a pocket Zoro. So he's got to kind of get rid of this guy this turn. Yeah, with that. And we got this, so we can send him to the shadows right away. So draw our Don, and we get the pocket Beam. Alright, so our play here, we're going to hit him twice. And force him into using, like, force him to drain the cards in his hand, or he's going to take 2 hits. So we're going to cost 4 on this. So now it doesn't really super matter. Basically, we're going to get out multiple. We're going to get out both of these. That's the game plan here. So we have 7. So what you do, we throw our big boy. Flop it down. So he's at -10,000. Just like that. You do your 3 Don. 1, 2, 3. Get him out of here. Then we get our... Actually, what do we got to be at? 3 or less. So we'll get out Law. Don't need. And then we'll attack him straight up. So he's got no counters. So he's got to either take the hit or block out. He takes the hit, which is big. And then we play Zoro. Put him down. Hit him again. He's got to either drain something or take another hit. So we get him to lose Sabo, which is a decent one. And yeah, that will end our turn on this. And we'll see what this guy does, how he goes with that. So he's stocking that onto that just to attack straight up, which is okay with us. We'll let him do that. And then he's going to play something to get rid of Law, I assume. But little as, we have this. So we can drop my 5,000. So as long as he doesn't put anything like 9,000 or higher out, we're okay. But if he puts something out higher than 9,000, then we're not okay. So that's what it kind of relies on right here. So we'll see what he does. Also, if your leader has need, why isn't he using this? Why he's not using a stage? He put this out, and he's not. I haven't noticed him turn it sideways. Maybe I'm just being silly. Oh, okay. Well, if he's gonna do that, that's fine with me. He doesn't have any cards out, so we'll use our search for free then. We'll grab another Zoro. And we have 2. I just need 1 up for beam. So we'll do 1 on us here. And attack. 6 on 5. Again, at the very least, get him to burn something. Alright, that's good. And then we'll play Zoro. And attack him again. Okay. And now we'll attack him with Law. Alright, so let's see what he's got. Again, I'm assuming he was stalling out there so we can get rid of both of these. But we'll see what he does. So what is this? We got 2 or less life cards. So 6 on 5. That's fine. He puts out a guy at 9,000. All right, heart of the cards. Let's go. Oh, yo. That's beautiful. Okay, sick. He's going to be just absolutely devastated on this. So I only need 3 to get rid of him. So 1, 2, 3. But, I mean, I could do that, and then we just stack everyone else up with Law. So let's just see what happens. Minus 5,000. Minus 7,000. And then optimally, we just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 onto Law. And then we are going to attack him. 10,000 on 5. And then we're going to activate our ability. 1, 2, 3. Mihawk's out of here. Bring in Shachi and Penguin. And we'll end our turn. I definitely misplayed. I forgot about our pocket beam here. So we can't use our pocket beam. However, next turn, if he doesn't have a blocker of some sort, we can just lay out like everything. Okay, you got a blocker. All right. Well, that stinks. That was his one bailout to extend this. But, I mean, if we get another heart of the card situation here, we just have to drop him down by 3. So, I'm fine with him attacking. Give us... Let's go! Perfect! Alright, well, we got this. Locked up. Yeah, get rid of all of them. I do not mind. Because, again, Sabo's ability only can't be KO'd by effects. So, we're okay with that. And we even got a character to boot. So, that works. Select one done. Select target. 5,000. We'll do that. And then let's do select 3 done. 1, 2, 3. Get Sabo out of here. Bring in our own little blocker. And then we got a pocket beam, so we can now set him up. Let's do that. Because he has to burn stuff. Okay, burn the blocker. So that'll end the turn. And then since we're under 2, we can stop 4,000 on us. And we have our blocker. Even if he gets rid of the blocker, we can still stop 1 attack. So next turn, we just put on probably all of our Don. Unless he gets a blocker down. Like, the blocker's the only tricky thing here. Okay, I think he just got a blocker. So he's gonna extend this out. We'll see. We'll see what he put together. Okay, did Zeph? Okay. Block that. Is he attacking us straight up? I could block it, but let's just get something. Okay. Okay, that was actually huge. I don't even need to use Gamma Knife. Also, he's in range of our stuff. So, what can we do? I do 1. I can put 3. No, okay, I gotta lose 3. Gotta sack 3, get rid of his blocker. To attack again. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Alright. I can hold on to this. Just get rid of his blocker. And then we attack with 6. So it just depends on what he's got in here. If he can counter out or not. Or we could do... Oh no, I have to... Yeah, we have to go for it right here. So, this. I gotta go for it. Right here, this is it. This guy. We'll bring in our guy here. And then, Let's just go for that. That on that. 6 on 5. What do we got? Dang it. He's got that. He's got the perfect card. So we are not gonna win this one. We're not gonna win this one. This pesky soldier. It's weird that he brought out someone else. 9 on 5. Okay, no blocker. Resolve. Oh, what is this? 5,000 power or less. Dang it! I don't think I get another turn. Because he can attack twice. Ass. But we got a small hope. Uh-oh. 8 on 5. That's not enough. We gotta block this. We gotta block this. But if he goes above... If he... Dang it! He's got that. Alright, that was a good game. It was a good game. He got the bailout, what he needed. Those bailout blockers. But that was a very fun game. That was super good. And that's like what I normally expect against Sakazuki. Except this guy probably could have did better. Unless I was just blind. I didn't notice him using his stage at all. This was free -2 with those two. But that was close. That was a really good game. That was fun. So let's jump into another one. Keep on moving. Alright, we got matchup against Purple Luffy here. Not liking this. Oh, this is even worse. Uh-oh. This is way worse. So I prefer try to get a search or something. And so we'll see. Interesting. Then we'll go on and go second. So see what kind of build they got going on here. Draw our Don. We don't have anything to do, so we just we're gonna trade some attacks here, I guess. 8 on 5. See what he's got. Just throwing it all out there. All right, he sacks 2 guys. Protecting the life again with this Luffy. You do have to be kind of aware of your life because to use his ability to ramp up, you gotta drain your own life. So you don't want to lose any. It was definitely the best play for him. because you don't want to lose, like, especially early, like turn 2, losing a life, and then like before you even get to use, yeah, what he just said, your life ability. Like being down to 3 life already at turn 2 is not what you want if you're playing Purple Luffy. But we'll see what we do. He's got Magellan. Select a down return. Okay. Why didn't he attack? Alright. But what we can do is get rid of Magellan. And his effect is when KO'd, loses 2. Good news is we're not KOing him. So we'll do our little strat here. I think, right? Do 1, 2, 3. Actually, no, let's not do that. I don't want to lose. Well, no, I'm going to lose 3. No, we'll get out Beepo. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I'm goofing it. So there we go. 8 on 5 again. See what we get. Oh. Uh-oh. I hope he didn't mess up the math. Oh no. Uh-oh. I hope that didn't like mess up and like cost him something there. Because that would have been like not great. Like at all. So Magellan bottom decked, and then we'll get Beepo, and then we'll end our turn. Yeah, I hope that didn't just mess up his game though. That'd be kind of stinky. So 8 on 5. No blocker. We won't let that go through here with this. Because we have 2. I don't really need the 2 right now. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I feel bad. Like if this was real life, I'd totally be like, it's fine. Like I wouldn't super care. Like it's a tough thing. So he gets out this kid, which unfortunately we're getting rid of 2 probably. How do we want to get rid of him? So I do 4 with like that, or what is this? Because this is 2, so it costs 2. Then we lose 1. We drop him by 5. Then they'll lose this with 3. So we'll do that. I think that's the best action here. Do this. Do that. Minus 5,000. So he's at the 3,000 mark. And what we're going to do is attack once with Beepo on that. So we get our little Don back. Well, arrested one. And then we'll throw this on Law. Attack. 6 on 6. Okay, and then we'll use Law's ability. Go 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that guy. And then we'll bring out our blocker. And we will end turn. So, it's kind of our setup here against Purple Luffy right now. We got a little blocker. Oh, he gets a blocker. Dang. Oh, we can get rid of him next turn as well. He's loading up. So, 8 on 5. Which I'm okay with. If he's going to do that, we'll take the hit. No trigger. Because that gives us two options here. Draw our Don. What do we got? Fire Fist, 4. That'll put him in range. So we'll Fire Fist him, and then do that, and then we'll get a guy out. We'll get Gene. Grab Gene, I think. Because just to keep this on playability, because they're both at 1,000, right? So I'll do this. Minus 4,000, so he's already in our range. And now we'll just automatically do 1, 2, 3. Get him out of here. We'll bring in the man Gene. And now we have 3 just straight attacks here. Beepo, we want to attack first to get the Don back. Right there. See what he can do. Again, alright, yeah, he had nothing. So that is how you play against, like, at least how I play against Purple Luffy. Because again, Purple Luffy is a lot easier to game plan against than Sakazuki. Like, overall, it's like they're just trying to ramp up to get to their heavy hitters as quick as possible. But again, they're only putting out like one heavy hitter. So that's our advantage, is then we have all these cards. Then we just have to target one guy. Versus like Sakazuki, when they get their stuff set up, then you have multiple people and you got to kind of put things together there. But Purple Luffy is one of the other like build as top meta decks. We'll see. But because I feel like this one is, at least to me, I feel like it's a little too one-dimensional. Because you know what they're going to do. It's just if you can stop it or not. Which we can. We're super built to counter, like hard counter Purple Luffy. Like, just for the fact that, especially early game, depending on the thing, if you can get, like, turn 2, like what we tried to go for, if you can get their life down, because, again, they have to use up their life to utilize this ability. That's what you kind of take advantage of, is, like, getting them down early. But, yeah, or how things worked out for us, we got our standard setup and able to do the overwhelm thing. Because, again, if they're only putting out one character at a time, just target the one guy, and then you're able to just build up. And then turn 5 comes around where we're at, and we already have this set up. And even if they're able to get stuff, like if they only have one guy even around this turn, again, they're only attacking us. Unless if the guy doesn't have rush, they'd attack us 1. And then it just depends if you want to lose like your blocker or not, or just let it hit. Which if you're up on life and you're feeling confident, then it's fine to lose the life so you get the extra hand. Because the other problem with our deck is we're going to be constantly like getting around to end game, like turn 5 plus. You're going to be low on cards. So it's kind of situational. Again, Red Purple Law is definitely not the easiest deck to like pilot at all. Like, I've definitely struggled. I've lost just testing stuff out. I've lost a lot of, like, a decent amount of games just being hard with the calculations. Like, you have to, again, you got to use your Don, like, right? You got to situationally use your Don, spread them out, see what you can do situationally there. Also, calculate the power. Like, if you can get someone down to 3,000, and if you get them down to 3,000, is it better to remove them or, like, other people on the field if they have those? So it's all, I don't know. It's a challenge. Like, this is definitely not an easy deck to use. I would definitely say that. But if you're up to stuff that's, like, different. The reason I love this deck, and is why it's my favorite by, like, far, is just because there's so many different variants and builds you can do with Law. Like, ours, like, the one I'm using right now, and I'll do another video later of, like, the other, like, build. It's probably, like, I feel like 3 decent, like, solid builds. It just depends if you want to be, it's kind of like the skill tree. Do you want to be like over here where we are, like all out offense? Do you want to be more balanced, or do you want to be defensive? And that's like why I love Law, because you can do, you kind of, whatever play style you like, you can build around this card, which is sick. And that's why I like it a lot. My build is just literally, again, all offense. We have like no counter cards at all, except for the pocket beam. And yeah, for me, the philosophy is like the old thing, and like sports stuff, they say the best defense is a good offense. It doesn't matter how good their defense is, and if they're like scoring against us, if we're scoring more than them, like that kind of thing. So that's like this Law. That's what this build's kind of around, is just being super aggressive and just coming out right away, turn 2, smacking your opponent with like 8,000, getting rid of whatever they have out in the field, getting your guy out, and then just going from there. And our build is a great matchup against Purple Luffy. Like, Purple Luffy super struggles against us, just because Purple Luffy's only built to ramp up, to power ramp like one guy. And that's what they're set up for. Like, they get their one guy out, which is like bad for us. But if we have the cards to then immediately get him out and bottom deck him, then they're done. Because, like, the big other issue with Purple Luffy is when you ramp it up to get out these strong guys, you're costing and using all of your Don. So just from there, I know they can't have any good counter cards to block us. So that's why they have to spend characters. Like, going in deck knowledge against your opponent. Like, for Purple Luffy, they're not going to be running counter cards, like, unless they have like a different kind of build. They're just trying to ramp up to get their heavy hitters out as fast as possible, which he didn't do. Like, again, he I think kind of got scared. And also too, we had that goof, which I feel bad about. That might have like changed things a little bit when he did the math wrong to go to 8,000 and not 9,000. But so that sucks. And then Rayquaza, it's a cool Pokemon. If by some chance you're watching that, feel bad. If this was real life, I would have just like not paid attention to that. I've been like, let's not look at that and then just let it act out, because that's not that guy's fault for that. I feel like, I mean, it is for not counting and stuff, right? But I mean, I've made that mistake like a ton, especially with this deck. I make it all the time, and it's like tough. It's like tough because you're active. You gotta be active, quick thinking. Like you gotta be doing the calculations, like multiple calculations at the same time. But yeah, matchup wise, our deck is great against purple Luffy. I have more times than not am just smoking purple Luffy. Like it's not even close. Like our deck is great for that. We're pretty even against Sakazuki. I feel like it's like down. Normally my Sakazuki games are like down to the wire, like right at the end, and they're so much fun. They're a rush. They're great, and yeah, it's just sick. I love playing against Sakazuki, and it's just fun because we're like the inverses of Sakazuki, like sort of similar, like trying to remove. They're trying to do KO cost removal. We're trying to do like bottom deck power removal, and it's just a fun battle. It's just a fun battle because it's different abilities that kind of gives you the same result. So it's just like you're just getting to so many cool little standoffs, you know, where you're just like trying to bait each other out, and I just love it. It's just super fun. It's just like extra games within the game, and like stuff like that I love. Even though I will say Sakazuki deck is just, I feel like a little bit better overall than Red Purple Law, just because Sakazuki matches up better than we do against like all the other decks. And while for this one, my biggest problem is NL. Just for this build, like if you run the build I'm running, just know that NL is the hard counter, because a lot of our attacks with our characters are just gonna be 5,000. Because I don't have anyone higher than that. And NL has just like, again, NL's going to stall you out with life. And then they have so many character cards, and it's so frustrating, that are plus 2,000 counter. Like there's so many in the NL like build that are like that. So NL is a very hard counter for us. Like I can still beat them, but to beat them, I need like the perfect hand and perfect kind of setup. Which if you don't get, then I haven't been able to beat them. I can get it like right down to the line, but they can just stall out for so long. And like you get one opportunity, like against a very good NL player, you'll normally get one shot where you have to go for it to KO them. And I run into that, and they'll just like have just a perfect plus 2,000 character cards to like add up, which stinks, but it is the weakness. If you're interested to playing like the playstyle I did in this video, or am doing in this video, that's what you want to do right there. So that would be my advice for that, is if you want better type coverage against everybody, don't do this build that I've got like at all. Like if you're wanting to be able to match up just kind of evenly, just know that you'll then kind of lose your boost, your little buffs against like Purple Luffy a little bit. You'll still be fine, I think, overall against Purple Luffy. And then Sakazuki is a little bit more situational. It just depends on your build. Like the other good build, like super good build, like if you don't want to be just all out aggro and just build for a little bit, is look up like the ace build. I'll definitely put one together, because again, this is my favorite deck. I'll put together like the 3 versions that I've messed around with and know about. So this one again is your all out offense. Just non-stop, punch in the mouth, just trade blow for blow, and just try to overwhelm them with just all-out attack. That's what this build is. But yeah, I'm definitely going to put together the other builds to show you guys like the different playstyles with Law. Because again, this is my favorite card. This is my favorite deck in the entire game. It's just so much fun, the variations, and I love it. But yeah, we'll wrap that up. And yeah, I think that'll do it for us in the video today. Again, thank everybody that's been tuning in and like watching all these. It's been a nuts. I've not expected again, I said in the last one, I did not expect this kind of result. And sport and stuff has been super fun. If you're new to this and checking it out and you want to play this game, I recommend like joining the Discord. Everybody is super nice and like helpful. Like help me a bunch. Like I'm in the chats and stuff talking. You can find me in the Red and Purple Law chat frequently. Like there's our little community in there where we discuss like the different builds and everything. And you can just have like straight up just constructive like conversations with people, like and different builds and stuff, and what they think like your build is lacking and like stuff like that. And it's just super nice, super helpful. Everyone is really nice. And overall, like the One Piece community is awesome. Like everybody, whether people, if you're tuning in, people on TikTok, I open the card packs, try to do like one a day, and everyone on there is just been super nice and genuine, and it's been awesome. And same with this, again on the Discord, everyone's in there, it's super chill and nice. And yeah, if you're new to the game, and especially if you want to look up like different builds that I haven't covered, and just all the different, I'll try to get to eventually. Like I'll try to get a purple Luffy out and like Sakazuki and stuff like that. It's just gonna take me a little bit because again I'm also new to the game, so I'm trying to learn all this stuff. But overall, from what I've seen and like watching stuff, this is definitely my main deck is going to be Red Purple Law until like kind of future stuff comes in. Again, it just a little bit depends on. We'll see. It definitely make adjustments again on the unbanned cards and stuff like that. I have a really cool idea. Based on the cards that get unbanned and unrestricted, I have a pretty cool idea that I'm going to build around this, and it'll definitely be in a future thing, depending on the full decisions of all of that. So, again, thank you everybody that's been just showing support and everything. It's sick. It makes me super motivated to keep like pushing and come up with like different strategies and stuff that you can kind of go off from. And I hope these like videos and stuff have been a little bit helpful. Because again, also my decks and stuff are not perfect. There's definitely improvements that can be made. And if you have any, like, however you feel, different comments and stuff, feel free. I'm definitely down into that and trying different things to see what works for me and, like, my play style and stuff like that. But, yeah, just figured to put out a video of, like, my current kind of deck build that I've been using just to test around, play around. It's pretty good overall. Like, again, it is situational. It is very aggressive. So, being very aggressive, you run the risk, too, of just getting caught out. And if you're too aggressive and just kind of burn through your stuff, basically like imagine yourself sort of like, I don't know, Gear 5, Gear 4 Luffy. You just got like the time limit, right? Where you're just like unstoppable. But then if you burn out too quick, then you're all shriveled up and just out of steam. So that's what this kind of build is sort of like, if I could relate it to like a One Piece character. It'd definitely be like the Gear Luffy's where you got a limited time. If you go all out offensive from the beginning, you got a limited time to like put them in the stranglehold so they can't get out of. Because if you can't and get caught, then you're gonna probably get smoked or they'll be able to come back. But yeah, again, thank you everybody who tuned in, and we'll see you in the next one.